All right, WMMS presenting Disturbed, the Sickness 25th Anniversary Tour. 2 sets, 1 show. They will do The Sickness in its entirety. And then they'll do all the, I guess, greatest hits, right? Disturbed's got a lot of them. Disturbed with special guest Daughtry and Nothing More. They've got a rotating cast of support on this big tour. And in Cleveland, we'll get Daughtry and Nothing More. It's Monday, March 31st. At the Romo Fijo. Tickets, info, everything else, you want to go to rocketmortgagefieldhouse.com or win them from me. Be caller 10. You got 2 for Disturbed in March. See you there. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Yeah, it seems a little unfair that you can watch our live stream, but we can't see you. But we'll fix that tonight. Outside your window.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I was reading a story about a woman who got really, really sick. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, and they were doing all these tests, and she had some bacterial illness or something. And it was as simple as the fact that the woman never washed her water bottle. And so now I'm like...
This is what I said about the Brita.
I'm super vigilant about... what did you say about the Brita?
I said that I thought it was weird to just continuously refill your Brita and never let it get completely empty and then refill it or wash it out and then refill it.
Well, that's different than never washing it, though. We were having the conversation about should you wash it every time you refill it, and I didn't think that was necessary. But
like
never washing it would be strange.
Wash the water bottle every other day and wash the Brita pitcher about once a week.
But again, to your point, I got to be more vigilant about washing my Owala bottle. Yeah. Owala. That's right. Hey, if you listen to us on iHeartRadio from out of state, I'd like to know where you are. Jim listens in Charlestown, Rhode Island. Brian's in Hoboken. Justin listens in Brooklyn. He's in Bay Ridge. Rob and Lisa are in Yelm, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest. Michelle's in Altoona, PA. Chad's in Thibodaux, Louisiana. And Lexi listens to us at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Talking to actor Danny Trejo here in a minute. He's doing a voice for a new cartoon film that is out this weekend. It's called... Gracie and Pedro, Pets to the Rescue. This is a typo, what they sent me. What they sent me was Gracie and Pedro, Pete to the Rescue. I'm like, what a convoluted title that is. No, it's Pets to the Rescue. It's like the presser I got from the IX Center, their big announcement for IX Trick or Treat Street. You know, they do that big trick or treat thing over there at the IX Center for Halloween. And the headline had a typo in it. Cleveland's Sook-tacular tradition. I assume that means spooktacular. They just left out the P?
No, it's souk.
What is souk?
It's a candy.
It's a Korean candy, and it is delicious. Mm-hmm. It's equal parts sweet and spicy.
Mm-hmm. The full term is souk mabos.
BillSquire.com for tickets. Mm-hmm. Where are you performing this weekend?
Canton on Saturday. Cambridge, Ohio on Friday night, and those tickets are almost gone.
Cambridge, Ohio. It's the gateway to the southwest of Ohio. Is that what? Southeast of Ohio. I was reading a thing this morning that season 17 of Always Sunny in Philadelphia is beginning production as we speak. Here's a show that they never thought would get picked up. They never thought it would continue past a few seasons, right? This was back when these guys literally shot a couple of scenes on a VHS camera and shopped it around. A real low-budge situation, and FX grabbed it. And season 17 is beginning. Now, not everybody is into Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Some people have fallen off. I'm one of those people. I need to return to it because I think it's undeniably a funny show.
Yeah, I made about 7 or 8 seasons, but I mean, now there's 10 more seasons that I haven't seen.
Right. How far back should I go? They've confirmed that there's going to be an Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover with this show Abbott Elementary. Does anybody watch that?
It's like huge. I don't watch it, but
it's a huge show, but I get why people like it. I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
But those shows are both set in Philadelphia, obviously, so they're going to be a crossover show. And obviously everybody's done other things. Danny DeVito, he hasn't done much. He's the guy that does the Jersey Mike's sandwich commercials.
He was in the new Beetlejuice.
Well, thanks, Mary.
It's not a spoiler.
I didn't know it.
It's not a big part of the story. He plays janitor.
Janet?
Yeah, he plays Janet.
Janet Tor.
Janet Tor. Mm-hmm.
So, Caitlin Olsen, she had a show called The Mick that was pitifully short-lived. It was funny. She's got a new show now where she's a genius who solves crimes. It's like this old... Is anybody watching High Potential? Mm-mm. It's kind of funny. It's just like a procedural crime show, but she plays this single mom who is also quietly a genius, kind of like a Good Will Hunting kind of vibe. But it's like a standard network procedural crime show. And I'm like, it's entertaining. I thought it was a show about pot.
Yeah.
It's called High Potential, but she's a high-functioning IQ, So they've all done other things. Like Rob McElhenney has a show on Apple called Mythic Quest.
Love that show.
That's a great show. He's got Welcome to Wrexham, that soccer thing with Ryan Reynolds. Charlie Day does movies. Glenn Howerton does movies. He was in that BlackBerry movie that was way better than it needed to be. They made a movie about the invention of the BlackBerry, and it was him and Jay Baruchel, and it was really entertaining.
I listened to Charlie Day's episode of Smartless.
Yeah.
And it bummed me out how serious he was.
Why?
I don't know. Like,
that was a long time ago.
This was a while ago.
Yeah.
I was driving and I put it on. I love Charlie Day. And then I think what I realized is that I love the character he plays because he was almost somber on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah. He was like very chill. You could tell he took himself and his career extremely seriously. Like just the way that he talked about it. I was
really?
like, this is not the same guy.
Oh, I don't remember that episode.
Yeah,
I'm sure I
don't think I've
listened
seen
to
that
it,
episode because I've also seen him on the Always Sunny podcast, and he's pretty silly with those guys. So maybe it was just in that interview he was just really wanted to project a certain thing, but I feel like when he
still had like he was still getting lines off and saying funny things, but it was not
you wanted
the
to
character.
You wanted to be borderline mentally challenged.
Psychotic.
Yeah, like Charlie's
I mean, 20 years ago when these guys did a pilot, I mean, obviously 20 years ago, these guys looked like they were in high school when they did Always Sunny, when they were shopping it around town. No, I think Charlie Day, he just directed a movie. I think he's probably a guy that doesn't want to get pigeonholed as some crazy dopey dude. I mean, he was in Horrible Bosses. Those were huge movies.
He was Luigi in the Mario movie.
Oh, right.
That's a big movie.
Yep. He tried to do. There's been a couple movies that I think they thought were going to pop off, and they didn't really. The after school fight movie with Ice Cube, whatever that. What was it called? Fist Fight. What was the one where he and Ice Cube are going to fight after school? Fist Fight is what it was called. Yeah, they're like teachers, and the plot of the movie is we're going to meet after school and fight. And I don't know. He was in Pacific Rim. Remember that was going to be a big thing too. They were going to make a dozen Pacific Rim movies. And then people were like,
they made 2, and the second one was so bad.
I didn't see either of them.
I saw the first one. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of fun. And the second one was just dog crap.
I've got money here for you. It's $1,000. You get it once an hour. Keyword courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. You got plenty of this to hand off, so I hope you win. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Money. That's money. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
I'll talk to Danny Trejo here in a minute. After Perez Bilden yesterday, speaking of podcasts, I listened to Seinfeld on Tom Papa's podcast. He's got a podcast called Breaking Bread because he bakes.
Mm-hmm.
And we played a clip of him saying, I need to take back when I said that the radical left is ruined comedy or something. And he goes, that was silly. It's not true. But another thing that he mentioned, he goes, and the other thing was something that I never said, but people think that I said, so it's the same thing. That he doesn't do colleges anymore. Did you listen to any of like that?
No, I just saw that one clip and then made the joke about him being ashamed of B-movie.
Right. Right. But again, I'm a Jerry Seinfeld stan till the day I die, right? I mean, I think he's like the...
Then what are your thoughts on B-movie?
It's... Same as Unfrosted. I watched Unfrosted and I was like, I feel better knowing that he doesn't care if people like these projects. He does them because he likes them. He gets them made. Once they're done, they're done. He's not paying attention to reviews, doesn't care. He's like, this is just what I think is funny. And he's got such a zen attitude to the entire thing that I think that it's so instructive and so useful. So I look at him almost like a zen master. But he was talking about, he goes, everybody said that I said I don't do colleges. And he goes, A, I never said it. And B, I do them all the time.
Number one of them I didn't say, but people think I did, so it's just the same. I said I don't play colleges because the kids are too PC and you can't do comedy for them.
Right.
Not true. First of all, I never said it, but if you think I said it, it's not true. I play colleges all the time.
Right.
I have no problem with kids performing for them. In fact, I was just at the University of Indiana, Kentucky. We did UT. I mean, I do colleges all the time. So that perception that I don't play colleges, wrong. I do. I play them all the time, and it's not a problem.
Do you think he's in the lunchroom like Mary?
Yeah, he's just standing on the cafeteria floor, screaming at people while they eat.
My thought was, are kids into Jerry Seinfeld? Like, I don't know how popular Seinfeld would be with the college set in the first place.
I think it's just one of those things where the school's like, we're bringing in Jerry because we want to bring him in, and the kids can just enjoy it if they want to.
Really?
And it's probably open to the public as well, because they'll put them in arenas.
Yeah, it's like a theater on campus or something.
I mean, I saw Mulaney at Kent State, and they had him in the basketball arena. There was like 6,000 people there. I
see.
So I imagine it's a similar thing to Seinfeld. Like, the tickets were open to the public.
You'd think one or two students would have posted, saw Jerry Seinfeld at my school, you know, posting about every other goddamn piece of minutia. You think he'd post about that? Hey, this guy my dad is into. Played our school. Let me talk to Danny Trejo here.
More than 6, but fewer than 10 minutes. With somebody on the phone.
I don't have to tell you who Danny Trejo is. You hear his voice in cartoons and voiceovers, and he's had a long and illustrious film career. Danny, how are you?
Hey, I'm blessed, man. I got friends like Alan. How you doing?
I'll tell you what, brother. I don't know what 80 looks like, but it sure doesn't look like you. Right?
We're doing pretty good, man.
Man, you are doing pretty good. I watched, for the 4 millionth time in my life, I rewatched Heat a couple of weekends ago. It's easily one of my top 5 movies of all time. Yeah. And that cast is so stacked that I actually, for a split second, forgot you were in it. And then I was like, oh, right, Trejo's in this. I think you used your own name in the movie, too.
Well, the reason was because Michael Mann did a film called The Jericho Mile in Folsom.
Yeah.
And when he was filming in Folsom, he had all the African Americans and all the Caucasians, but none of the Mexicans. And you can't have a prison movie without Mexicans.
Yep.
Wait a minute, is that race? No, that's true.
It's okay to hit your own group, right?
But so he wanted to know what was wrong. And they told him, you got to talk to the shot callers. So one of them was my uncle, Gilbert. So he talked to Gilbert and made friends with Gilbert. In fact, he won't admit it, but he paid Gilbert SAG wages while they were shooting that movie.
Yeah.
To keep everybody in line. And so they did the film. So when I showed up on Heat, by accident, hey, Gilbert. And I said, no, I'm Danny. because I'd done a film with him before. Then we talked, and he couldn't. My uncle had died of an overdose, so he was really like taken. And then he changed my name 3 times in that movie. Changed the script 3 times. The whole script was changed. And finally, he asked me if he could call me Gilbert in the movie. Gilbert Trejo, my uncle.
Yeah.
Every time I look at you, I think of Gilbert and I lose my train of thought.
I remember maybe just once or twice in the movie, De Niro refers to you by name and he just calls you Trejo.
Yeah. Yep.
So this new movie, we just saw, I took my daughter to see another movie a couple of weekends ago, and they had the trailer for Gracie and Pedro to the Rescue on the front of it, and I just kind of give her the look, and I go, yay or nay? And she's like, yeah. That's not always the case. You got to get kids pretty quickly with these trailers, but you want to talk about a stacked cast. I mean, for a film where you guys are doing voiceovers, it's you and Bill Nye and Susan Sarandon, but it looks like a really sweet thing.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It is a really good movie. I love doing cartoons, you know what I mean? Because that's a whole new audience, and people will recognize you. And kids don't have a filter. They'll scream it in an airport.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, I told my daughter today, I said I'm going to be talking to Vasquez from Big City Greens, and, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. And, kids will, I just know from doing this for a living, it's weird when people will pick you out just from your voice.
Right.
And yours is so distinctive.
Kids see, now it's just like Vasquez, you hear it across the airport.
If nothing else, Danny, you are an entrepreneur, you're a Renaissance man, not to put too fine a point on it. But you got a lot of irons and a lot of fires, don't you? Staying busy.
Restaurants, and we opened up one in London, which is on Portobello Road, and it's doing awesome. We're opening up one in Detroit. I want to do that like a House of Blues.
Yeah, sure.
You going, and then I started a record label. I got a singer called Coda the Barber, and he sings like Richie Valens.
Nice.
Yeah. It's perfect guy, man.
So let's just take the restaurants for an example. I mean, obviously you have business partners, but you're the name behind it. Do you show up with like a comically large scissors and cut a big red ribbon, or how does that work?
No. I show up with a shopping bag take home
from your own place.
But you know what? It's so funny. I used to send guys to but to order food to make sure they liked it and stuff.
Yes.
And my staff, Dad, everybody that you send looks like they're going to rob the place. Would you please?
Yeah, they're not exactly blending in, is what you're saying, into the woodwork. Yeah, they can't pull off the secret shopper vibe.
I've never gotten a bad report. It's like, hey, you know what? The food's great. So
I know your life could have its own film coming up in L.A. and your family and how you came up and the hardships and the successes and whatever. Were you ever Daniel to anyone, or were you always Danny?
That was always Danny.
Always Danny. Sometimes Gilbert in a movie.
Trejo.
Yeah.
Inmate.
With a bunch of numbers. You had numbers at one point? Yeah. Well, you're doing fine, man. Sometimes, you know what they say, the only way out is through. And I think you did it, man. Gracie and Pedro, Pets to the Rescue is a new movie. It's out on Friday. Danny Trejo, you will immediately recognize his voice along with a lot of the other A-listers in this film. Continued success, brother. It's a thrill to talk to you. I'm a big fan.
For the grown-ups, we can go see 7 Cemeteries.
Beautiful. When is that out? Same weekend?
That's out now. That's streaming, or I don't understand that. It's on the little box on the TV.
We'll look for it and we'll find it.
Okay. Cool.
Gotcha. Thank you, pal.
All right, home.
Take care.